I'm going to Matthews, the little area, in my city. I'm going to Spain. And, I was, given a mouthful, if you want to say that, and a few curse words and stuff, and that actually added on to my stress and anxiety. But at the time, I was, young, dumb, naive, so I still went ahead with it, and I let it affect me. So it was one of those ones where I felt like, now I've got the family's curse with me and I'm going to fly out. Oh God, what happened? What's going to happen in the plane? What's going to happen when I get there? Will I even get there? All of those overthinking, factors were just thrown at me as I was leaving the house, and I was already not feeling well. So I was throwing up at the airport and, went there. I remember for a good week, I was surviving on a yogurt a day and taking other things that I want to mention, and just throwing up, and just literally pushing myself to enjoy beach time, let's go, let's surf, but I'm dying inside. But it's one of those ones where it's so wild, man. Oh my days. But anyways, that was the 23rd birthday. I mean, at least I did something. And on my 24th birthday, I remember I went to Somalia, 24th birthday, and actually I was coming back from Somalia. So I spent a month and a bit in Somalia, and on my 24th birthday I was actually in Turkey, and I spent it in Turkey. So I actually spent it in, in mid-air, things like that, and then, there was sort of a transit sort of delay. So I was told, you'll get a hotel in Istanbul, spend a day there and a night. So we just chilled. It was just me and my dad. And, I felt like a boss, like I can actually take this birthday in alone. Had the whole hotel suite to myself. He had a different floor. They asked us, do you not want to, stay in the same hotel floor, room, or do you want separate? Looked at my dad and I was like, I'm 24 years old. Let me go. So literally, like, he was like, give me his own room, I was like, why not? So at the time I was smoking as well, so bearing that in mind, he didn't want smoke in his room, in his face and whatnot. So I was on the 20-something floor, massive hotel. I was towards the top end of the hotel, and it was at I remember 7th floor, 8th floor. And I was just, relaxing, making a few calls, doing those birthday snaps, put it on my Instagram stories, just making people believe that I'm having the time of my life. I'm overseas, Istanbul. And these times I was trying to get attention of this girl as well. So good times, man. That was 24th birthday. Fast forward, 25th birthday, what did I do? So that was 2020, COVID. Yeah, I was right here, as I just mentioned, COVID. Can't be something big, right? So I was literally in the city right here with one of my cousins, and we just spent the day in the clouds, just doing what we do, relaxing, having pizza, driving around. Nothing big on that day. So 2021, when I turned 26, and that's when the birthdays at home commenced. So 2021, I was at home. So bearing in mind, there's some of these birthdays that I don't fully remember, because if I don't fully remember, that means nothing big was happening, the few months building up to July, my birthday month, or after as well. So 2021, I was literally at home, and, the way I made it work out for myself, like a significant day, was literally I would smoke more, I'd actually watch a few shows, order foods, spend the night just awake, listen to music, calling a few people. See, my body's twitching right now, my nerve system's it's completely worked up. But 2021 wasn't so big of a deal. So fast forward to 2022 when I turned 27. So first of all, the birthdays aligned well because I was born in 95. So every year, starting from 2000, the century, 2000, I was 5 years old. So each year you just add five, and that's exactly where I am. So 2022, when I was 27, I remember, well, hold on. Yeah, 2022 was actually big because I went to Kenya and, you know, I went to Kenya first. I was there for a few months. And then after that, I flew out, went to India. I was there for a few months as well. So my birthday fell when I was in India. So my birthday was in India, and that was actually something. And I celebrated, you know, doing a few things alone, first of all, because of course I don't have friends with me there. So I literally went with my mum, my grandma, and my uncle. And I didn't actually go with my uncle. I met him when he was there. So my uncle actually made my birthday, you know, a bit special. So we went around, you know, we went Hyderabad, so we went around the city, chilling, eating foods. And because he smoked and I smoked, you know, we bonded over a few illicit things. In the night time, it took me out with the lads, you know, the older lads, the other uncles. We were just chilling, you know, the night away. Literally, I remember coming back home around 5 o'clock in a completely different state. But it was something, you know. To celebrate it somewhere where I thought I'd never, first of all, come, let alone my birthday, is something significant. So that was something to remember. 2022, the whole year was just, it was, you know, that period at least, you know, that summertime, it was wild. Like I did so much. Like after that, I went back to Kenya for a few months, got in trouble so many times. You know, it's a wild story, but definitely that reminds me, I'm going to give you lots a story, you know, some Kenya stories. You know, I've learned so much from these, you know, a few of the travels I've done. Some of the wildest ones were in Kenya, like all my days, like I'll let you guys know. But fast forward again, when I turned 26, 2023. Oh, hold on. No, when I turned 26. When I turned 28, 2023. So these are one of my dull years because 2023, I remember I was literally at home. I wasn't doing much. I was so isolated and, you know, I wasn't talking to friends as well. Well, one or two friends, and, you know, that's every other, you know, month or two. And these times, you know, I've got connection with my day one friends, which I thought were my day one friends. But the way things played out, you know, the friends that I actually did everything with, you know, from badness, you know, to being arrested and everything, that, you know, started 2011 and it ended 2021. So 2023, I was with the real friends. So they'll know, they're watching. The real friends, they're still here till today. They're more than friends, they're family, you know, blood. Your blood. If you're watching this, your blood. Anyways, 2023, you know, even though they were busy, you know, my blood friends, my close friends, they were busy. And, you know, I wasn't actually nurturing the relationship myself from my end, so I was sort of engulfed in my mind. I was, you know, sort of, you could say, not fully depressed, but, you know, just in my own space at the time. So I was at home and I remember coming to this park literally right here. So I'd go walk around the area. I was sitting right there. I sat right there, literally taking in the air. Like, it's my birthday. And because I was so stifled in the sense where I couldn't, you know, talk to people, I was clouded in my thoughts, in my head, anxious, you know, looking down when I walked. So I remember I went to Costco's right here. I got a drink and a chocolate, a few other things, and then I went home. And, you know, literally just spent the day with my headphones, TikTok, vibed out. And that was about it, you know. And then 2024, turning 29, my last birthday in my 20s. I did the same thing, you know. This time around I was working and, you know, bit more financially stable. You know, I had around £20. I didn't have much, so I had, you know, a little bit to make it work to the point where I could order some foods, order a few other things as well, and did the same thing. And, you know, it wasn't too exciting, but financially wise, I was all over the place last year as well. So I'm trying to make a difference this year. Hopefully that'll work out. So that was it. All my 20s and now 30. 30-year-old, you know, in the next few hours. And what have I got planned? Nothing. I ain't got nothing planned, believe it or not. That's how wild it is, but I don't really mind and I don't really care because now I can at least vlog this and, you know, I can take you lot along my journeys, as in like how I'm doing anxiety-wise, you know, nervous system-wise. So it's definitely recalibrating. And, you know, I like to look back, you know, a few years from now, maybe even a few months down the line and just, you know, watch myself, you know, be like, wow, you know. So we'll see how it plays out tomorrow. I haven't got too much planned. But in my 20s, of those, you know, 10 years, that decade, what I've learned is, you know, hardship will come and hit you, man. You know, literally, there's so many times I was on my ass, alone, you know, facing different situations. And, man, you know, some of those times, I feel like I can go back and tell myself, man, you know, it gets emotional, like, you know, man, I wish I could help you, man, literally, man. You know, a time when everything's clogged up, it's hard to make sense of it all, man. But when you step out and see, you know, the full picture and just the optimistic view in life, you know, you just tell yourself, man, hang on, man, literally, like, I know it sounds cliche, you know, what people say, but, man, what patience, strength, and time will do is amazing. But without any further ado, happy birthday to myself. And if you made it to this far, wish me a happy goddamn birthday in the comments, why not? You know? Let me know, man, what you're doing in your birthday. You know, 20, 25, what, you know, how old are you turning? Just let me know, engage with me. But without any further ado, I'll end the vlog right here. Little birthday review, you know, reviewing my last 10 years. It's been bittersweet. But hopefully, inshallah, the next decade, you know, has got something better in store. And even if it doesn't, alhamdulillah for life, man. You know, everything's a lesson and I'm here for it. But without any further ado, have a blessed day, enjoy your day, and take care of yourself.